Back in action. Alright, so I left off breaking down the whole process of the light going up, but we're gonna bring it back a little bit, hit y'all with some scholarship, put some meat on the bones of this shit. Start off by saying this here, man. You know, this whole rise in consciousness is some of the best shit ever. You know, I like to get on, I like what I see, what I like to see, you know, when I be on TikTok and shit, see it, all these people dealing with the information, all this different information that's opposed or outside of, you know, your everyday religious thing, you know, to see these people coming into the light. You know, it's a good thing. But within the midst of all these people, one thing you gotta watch for is misinformation, which is it's a lot of that going on too. So you know, that's kind of the, I don't want to say the downside of it, but that's one of the cons of it you have to watch for, because now what it is since more people are open to alternative information, now you have people that are just you know, they pretty much losing their mind when they come to this shit. You know, I'm trying to figure out how you wear Egyptian symbols on yourself and you say that you all about the ancestors and you all about our ancient greatness and all this, but you can, you know, you can get in front of this camera and spread and talk and say you teaching people and you this, that, and the third, and you drop the ball on something, as basic as the moon. As the moon. You know, you got people saying that the moon is a hologram. Well, first and foremost, all this shit is a hologram. Ain't that what they said? This the Matrix and shit, huh? That's one thing, which is some bullshit. Well, the whole hologram thing, that's one thing. I ain't saying that's bullshit. I'm saying trying to take the moon and paint the moon as something that's against us, something that's bad. You know, people talking about, oh, on the dark side of the moon they're harvesting souls and the moon is the enemy and blah blah blah. First and foremost, the moon is the eye of Horus. This is basic. You can't tell me you out here teaching people and you don't even know what the moon is or what the moon symbolizes, and this is basic Egyptian 101 shit. You know, basic shit. You can talk all this shit about the moon, but I'll take you straight to Kemet and show you what the moon is. And that's why I say about this misinformation shit, because somebody can come along who isn't privy, and that's how I know motherfuckers ain't reading. But somebody can come along and be interested in this new information, and then they get to listen to somebody talking that shit, and run around here talking about and start thinking that the moon is the enemy or whatever. And the whole while, you're supposed to harvest energy from the moon as well as the sun and the stars and all that. Then some other shit I heard. Somebody said, "Oh, it's another sun is coming. It's gonna be 2 suns in the sky." That's bullshit. There's 2 suns in the sky right now. You have the sun, you have the central sun, which is star Sirius, with Sirius B rotating around it, and then you have our solar system. We're Sirius C, our solar system. Our sun rotates around the star Sirius. So when you hear about 2 suns, that's what they're talking about. Not no. I'm showing you the process of how the sun and all this shit was created right here. So the sun sits in the center of our solar system. If another sun comes, where the hell that's gonna sit at? You know, how does that work? One sun comes up, sets, then another one comes up right behind it. You know, and motherfucker was like, "Oh, it's gonna be 2 suns and nighttime ain't gonna exist." You trying to take away the goddamn look. There's a place right now where nighttime doesn't really exist, and that's Alaska. Alaska, I think around the time it's supposed to get dark, the sky turns a little purple, but it never gets fully dark. And that's because of the positioning of Alaska on the map, or where it's at. It's in the center of land, and it's to the north of us or whatever. So the position that it's in, it's in a position where, for the most part, no matter where how the sun, where the earth is facing, or the axis that the earth is tilted on, the sun is always shining to them in the point where it's always in the sky. So in other words, the reason why the sun rises and sets is because of the earth tilting on its axis, tilted towards the sun, and then turning its back to the sun, and then tilted back towards the sun so it can rise again. So in Alaska, by them having daytime all day, that must mean that the position that they in is one where they're always facing the sun, or the sun is always capable of shining on them to the point where it's daytime for the most part. Now, Alaska, and that's why it's good to look at maps and shit, because growing up I always thought Alaska was some shit by Europe or something, way away from a nigga, but really that shit is right above us. It's America, then Canada, and Alaska. Now what tuned me in on, first and foremost, it was this, I was on TikTok, and it was this chick from Alaska. She was making videos, and I guess she got into an argument with somebody. I guess somebody told her that there was no black people in Alaska. Which I can understand why people, like I said, I didn't know I didn't even know if Alaska was this fucking close to us. Show you how much I know when it comes to geography and all that shit. But and I can understand why people now I know it's black people all over the world, me personally. That's just a given. But I can understand why people would probably think that there's no black people in Alaska or whatever. You know, so I'm looking at her TikTok page, and she like showing, like, going around like different friends and shit, like, tell them it's niggas in Alaska, tell them it's niggas in Alaska. Ooh, it's like, yeah, it's niggas out here, blah 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 blah. And I remember one video, she had a camera out facing towards the water, and she was like, and when she had it facing out there towards the water, it was cloudy, like you just see the water and you see a whole bunch of mist. And she was like, she said yesterday I was right here, and you can see, looking in that direction, you'll see mountains. She said today you can't even see the mountains due to the cloud coverage or the mist or whatever, the fog. So you know, I'm checking out, and you know, I'm checking this out, and I put two and two together. You know, first and foremost, I want to say this too, because she seemed like a good person or whatever. She was the chick was she was a Christian or whatnot. You know, she made that known on her post or whatever. It's a lot of one thing I've been noticing through social media. You know, we all can complain about the bullshit we see every day out there on social media. But one thing I do see on social media, what social media has had me thinking about, is that it's a lot of good people, man, good old wholesome people out there. Good people. I can just tell by their aura and how they operate as far as social media. I know people be where they want to be outside the camera, whatever. But you know, sometimes you can just pick up on people's vibes or whatever. And morality, being good. Don't get me wrong. You want to be a good person or be the best person you can be. You know, as far as social standards and all that. You know what I'm saying? But that won't save you in regards to doing what you're supposed to be doing on earth, which is getting knowledge yourself. And the reason I'm bringing this up, because it's like, I be seeing these good people who still don't know the truth, and I don't like to bother people, so I don't pretty much get on their post and say, just like these motherfuckers who be talking this moon shit, I don't be want to get on their post and attack, yo, that's wrong, ooh, I just let people be. But the good people, man, or the people I feel like are good people who still don't know what's going on, man, I be wanting to just tell them like, hey, man, you know, this and this, you know, that ain't, you know, just on the strength of them being good people. Like, you motherfuckers should know this shit. You know, you know what I'm saying? You should know this type of information. Just based on strength. To me, I feel like you should know it just based on the strength that, you know, these are good people or whatever. But I said all that to say, it's more than that. Religion tricked us into thinking that spirituality and getting into quote unquote heaven was all about be a good person and you'll be alright. But then when you step into this realm of occult information or whatever, it's more than that. You can be a good person all day, but if you don't figure out who you are, then you have to keep coming back through being recycled or whatever. But I just want to say that, man, it was just something on my mind. But take it back, you know, and she was one of them. You know what I'm saying? Well, like I said, I don't know her personally or know her deal or whatever. But you know, but when she said the thing about the mountains and the clouds or whatever, so when you look at Alaska would be, to bring it back to the whole creation process. Alaska would be compared to this. When all these lights are set up and all that water precipitate from out of the melanin, and this becomes a pillar surrounded by a cloud of water and light. That would be Alaska. So whenever somebody's just gonna be two suns and it's gonna daytime. It's gonna be daytime all day. We already have somewhere on the planet like that, which is Alaska. So that's that on that. But I found it interesting when she said that. I started putting two and two together. It's always cloudy in Alaska because since they don't go through nighttime like we go through. Plus, by them being in the position that they in, I think the proximity to the sun, or the position that they in regards to the position of the sun. I think the reason why it's so cloudy, it's always cloudy up there, is because they don't get nighttime. The sun never really sets, but what they lack in darkness, or the absence of the sun that they lack up there, is compensated by the clouds. So they might not get a break from the sun like we get a break when the sun goes beneath the horizon. Their break comes through with the clouds. The cloud coverage protects them from I guess you could say, I don't know if I know it'd be cold up there shit, but if it's always daytime, that mean they probably getting an excess amount of sun, or more sun than we get. So maybe to balance that out, the cloud coverage is what keeps them from it's the reason why, well, the reason why they had a cloud coverage like that is because they lack nighttime. So the cloud coverage compensates for that, which would be this. Remember, these are mountains right here. I didn't draw them, but it would be 7 mountains on this side, 7 mountains on this side. And one thing I've been forgetting, even in the last series I did, take it back real quick, man. Time be flying. I know it should be redundant, but that's all good though. Fuck it. When I remember, this the bottom in the beginning. Before this, it was this at the bottom, the light at the bottom. When all this light was pushing towards the center, it was pushing up on them 7 spots right there, whatever, causing 7 black mountains to rise up on this part, which is the top. While it was traveling to the center, the force was pushing up. So not only did it push those 7 mountains up, it pushed up 2 more right here on the side of the center. That's where the Great Pyramid is gonna come from. And we're gonna crack the code of the pyramids, not in this video, but shortly, because it's all coming together. So you have all the cloud coverage right there, whatever. Now this moon thing got tons of, that ain't even and I don't really debate with people, but that's just basic. The moon, knowing that the moon is not something negative, and knowing what the moon is all about. That's why I say I don't understand how these people, that's why it be smelling like some Asian shit to me, because you know all this other shit, all this other groovy information, and then when it comes to the moon, the moon is bad. Come on, man. But we're gonna get into some relevant scholarship right now. So what's the first thing I want to start out with? We'll start with I was talking about the drunkenness of Noah's father. But first and foremost, let me bring the alcohol into this real quick, or show you where the beer comes from. Now, beer is sacred to Osiris. This past summer solstice, when I was telling y'all about the Twilight Zone and all that, which really sparked this series right here, that was information being channeled down to me. And that night when it all clicked off, I was drinking beer. Matter of fact, I saved it from the can a little bit because I always get these beers and I drink a little bit and usually don't finish the shit really. But I saved a little. I want to show y'all something. It was funny because when I didn't even realize the eye on this shit until after. But I bought it and but I wasn't really paying attention to the eye on it. But there's an eye on it as well. But this right here. Cosmic Prairie. Try to get it so y'all can see it. Read it. Wheat beer and pineapple. Cosmic Prairie. And it got a little eye right there. I don't know if y'all can see that. Really cannot see, but let me see if I can. I don't want to fuck my camera focus up. There's an eye right there. Cosmic Prairie. Wheat beer and pineapple. That's what I was drinking that night. And that's what I was drinking that night when I was reading Richard King's book. In the book I was dealing with in the beginning of this series, where I was talking about new sweat and gold. And where the hell is my book? Hold on. Yeah, but when I was talking about new sweat and gold, and this is the color of it. It's got like a golden, like a golden brownish color, but it's, you can see the golden part of it. And I first I was drinking a First, I was drinking a, let y'all see it one more time. Cause this looks kind of reddish too when you look at it, that golden red. But I was drinking a watermelon. Before that, I was drinking I had got me a watermelon Arizona, and I was drinking that. And I had to snap. I forgot I even had the bill. I said, well, y'all got a beer in there. So I went and got the bill. Asked red and the gold. Now keep that in mind, because when I get to the end of this, which I'm gonna bring it back to you anyway, but keep it in mind though, because that's gonna another breakthrough I had that weekend is gonna relate to that. But so when all that light was coming up from the bottom, when all the light was coming up from the center of that black hole right there. Matter of fact, we're going to that real quick too, real quick. Remember I was telling y'all about when I was breaking down how the backbone of Osiris or whatever. Let me get my picture real quick. We're going to that first, then we're going to the build thing. I'm gonna have to move quick on this shit too. This damn time passing fast as fuck. But just trying to see what this shit. But remember I was telling y'all, when this right here turned into a circle and went up to right here. Let's see what this shit looking like, man. This is the. I'll just take it down. Nah, y'all can see that shit, right? Yeah. But anyway, remember I said that light went from here and it shot up here and it had that string of light following it right here. That's the rope, the strong cord. Now we gonna get into a little scholarship on that to correspond to that part. The little thin part of the light, thin strip of light that end up becoming I got an interesting story to go with that. When back in 2001, I went to man, I hope I ain't lost this goddamn page, man. I know I got this somewhere. Let's see, it's right here. Well, back in 2001, I had to go to a drug class. And I had caught a case of shit, and one of my goddamn stipulations was a drug class. So when I was in the drug class, they told us that here we go again with these motherfuckers. Man, I hope I find it, because I got a few pages that deal with this rope thing. But these motherfuckers were saying that Benjamin Franklin discovered, which we know this is bullshit. We smoking weed before them motherfuckers even got here. But they were saying Benjamin Franklin is the one who discovered where is it at? Discovered smoking weed, or discovered that you could get high, or weed stimulates the mind, because they say they used to make rope. They used to use hemp to make rope, and one day some of the hemp caught on fire, and man, don't tell me I lost that goddamn page, man. But some of the hemp had caught on fire, and your boy got high off of it. No, I got it right here. Yeah, should be right here. But they say the hemp caught on fire, and he got high off the shit, and he discovered that the stimulating effects of marijuana. Now that's bullshit. Man, don't tell me, man. I know I had the shit written down some fucking well, man. But in here they talk about a the rope chief who went by the name of marijuana. So this is where the whole we get the term marijuana from. Or where's this shit at, man? Oh, I'm finna be mad if I know damn well. Well, let me just go to the rope so it should be. But it's in this book too. I'm trying to figure out where the fuck is that, cause I know I wrote this shit down, and I need to get more organized with the way I take these fucking notes, man, cause I'm everywhere with this shit. As far as the shit I be want to share with y'all, but then I ain't got that much time to do with it. I'll come back to that though. That'll be a side note if I can't find it right now. But yeah, they were saying he discovered by the rope. They was at a rope factory or some shit, and the rope burnt, and he got high off of it, and he discovered that. Ooh, that's, you know, that's cap though. Bullshit. I don't like saying that, but that's bullshit. But now if you go get I'm reading out Ancient Egypt Light of the World right now, but if you go get A Hero of a Thousand Faces, you'll see that same gardener or chief or whatever with marijuana, and he's dealing with the rope. And I know I wrote this shit down. What the fuck going on? Should be right here. It should be in this little section right here that I'm gonna get into. But the rope, it was a chief. The chief was called marijuana, and it was a rope. He's the rope, a rope man. Okay, we're gonna go through all the rope shit real quick. We start right here. Let me go to 387. Probably right there anyway. Alright, we'll come back to the marijuana thing, but I gotta find. I know I wrote that shit down somewhere, so when I find it, I just jump back to it. Alright, we'll start right here. Descendants from a god who's hauling or towing for us. This page 387. I'm gonna have to start sending y'all the pages too, give y'all a little help with it, because this is a thick ass book. So but 387 for those who have the book, so you can just go straight to the page sometimes. And some of the shit I can't remember, you just have to go find it or bump into while you read. But this page 387, and the Spartans claim to be rope men from, and they have a I guess a Greek version of the word rope, and it says equal rope. But as they sprang from the teeth of the dragon sown by Cadmus, it is possible that they dated from the rope man, who was the ruler of the pole star and the dragon from 4000 BC to 1000 BC in round numbers. When Ra calls on those who pull the rope of the solar boat in a method to tow him towards the dwelling of stable things and free themselves upon the mysterious horizon, they say to Ra, the rope is with Ak, the pole star. The upper end of the rope was fastened to the pole, while the bark was being towed round the round the ecliptic. The imagery here does but involve one rope and one pole star at a time. But as the pole star in the course of processions was 7, there were 7 ropes or bonds all reckoned in one character. The 7 primal powers are called the 7 tissue or the tassel. And that's where you get your tassel from. The tassel that hangs out of the feds of the moor, the tassel that hangs out of the graduation cap, And I got some more on that when we get a little further into this. But these are the 7 who hauled at the rope and who were the makers of the 7 ties, the bonds, knots, or fastenings of the cable to the pole when the rope was a primitive link of connection that preceded Newton's law of gravitation. The rope that is carried from the nose, carried in the form of a noose by a shoe owner, who also carries the staff of the pole with the head, which heaven uplifted. The 7 Egyptian Tisu are a kind of 7 rope men who passed into the Babylonian mythology as the 7 bonds by which the universe was bound and held together by the 7 lords at the 7 stations of the pole. In the Hindu representation, the 7 powers that haul round the solar bulk by means of a rope have been converted finally into the later 7 horses which draw the chariot of the sun. All right, that's man, I hope I can find this shit, 'cause I want to share it. Because like I said, it's funny, that was 2001 when the dude said the shit about the rope and the marijuana, and then I get to reading this shit here later on down the line, and get to run into this marijuana deity or whatever, or elemental, or whatever you want to call it, and it's the rope man, it's the chief of the rope gods is called, or the chief rope man is called marijuana. So we got that one. Okay, let's go to 390. And where the fuck is that shit? I know I wrote that shit down somewhere in this motherfucker. I gotta just give me a. Let me see. Alright, so this. Okay, here we go. Oh, I sure wish I could find that shit. That shit got me hot. Alright, so here go another reference to the rope. He is described as the god of the rope. It is said, he is born, he of the strong cord. His cable is complete. This we understand to be a god of the rope that was made fast at one end to the solar boat, and at the other to the star act at the pole. The luminaries in Anu are addressed. They are the 7 Khus. One of these 7 is newly born, or his star is just lighted, as god of the lamp, and likewise of the rope. And the event is celebrated at the festival of 6, not of the 6. Moreover, he is called the prince of the inundation. They have been deluged, and he has turned back the water flood which is risen over the thigh of Nut at the staircase of Sil, god of the earth. Man, where's this shit at, man? I'm gonna find it though. When I do find, make sure it's gonna be one of the next things I do. Cause I know I wrote that shit down. I'm hot cause I can't find the motherfucker. Not hot, but I wanted to share that. I wanted to read that to y'all. I really did. I'm gonna find that shit though. But yeah. So when they say that the rope spring forth from the teeth from the teeth, what they're talking about, what they saying that, okay, they got the way they just said it's fastened at the pole star one end, that'd be the top. And then this is act right here, the arc. The act is so it was fastened right here, or just like when this first was right here, it went up, that's a Anu, the dog with his tail following him. When the backbone would be analogous or correspond to the teeth. White bone, teeth white hard, Same thing. So when they say that the rope sprang forth from the teeth, they're talking about how you had the rope that's coming up here, but then you have the pillar, the white stone pillar being made by the melanin compressing up on the by being compressed by the melanin, being turned to the salt, and then compressing to the backbone, all right here, while you have the 7 spheres of light bouncing from right here up to up here. So when they say it spring forth from the teeth of Cadmus, that's what they're talking about. That's the rope. You know what I'm saying? That thin line that was left behind, that thin line of light that was left behind to create the pole or the spine or whatever. So I thought I'd share that with y'all just to put a little bit more evidence in regards to that. So let's see what else I had in here I want to get at y'all with. We talk about the beard. Now, like I was saying, the beard is associated with Osiris. Liquor, period. This is the brewing vat. That's why I said go back to that salt and pepper when you said #1 in the hot pot show. This is the pot, the brewing pot, the brewing vat. The water that rose up along with the light that was glowing from the surface when the whole circle was flooded with light. That's Icatus, the fish. And so that's why I said that's another thing. You know, this person was saying, if you look at the DreamWorks, the production company for DreamWorks, their symbol is a little boy sitting on the moon fishing. And this person was trying to say, oh, they're fishing for souls, they're using the moon to harvest souls. No, the water, the light, Christ is light. One of the symbols for Christ is the fish. This is where that comes from. The light that is traveling up along with the water is traveling through the water as if it was a fish traveling through water. The little boy fishing represents the pulling up or the raising up of the fish, just like the light raises up through the water. It's the Icatus fish. That's why you see that picture with Christ with the fish on his head. It's traveling up with the water, because when the water goes up and eventually freezes to create the moon, that light is gonna be light inside the water. So we say that the moon reflects the light of the sun. They say the moon doesn't have a light of its own; it reflects the light of the sun. The moon has light in it, but the light that's in the moon is frozen within the water. But the light you see flashing from off of it when we see the full moon or whatever, it's the light from the sun bouncing off the moon, but the moon has light inside of it as well. It's just frozen within there. That's why when you see the full moon, that's why the full moon is representative of Osiris being put back together. See, that's why I be saying, you know, these people talking about, oh, we battling against the draconians and battling all these people. But when if you really want to break down the ultimate battle between Horus and Set, Set is the one who steals the light, or he's the one that's always trying to cover up the light. The Christ is the one who brings the light. Just like I was telling y'all in the other video about how the quote-unquote elite, pseudo-elite white folks or whatever, they'll try to hide the light from us. They're doing the soot thing by trying to hide your light. So now you have the soot that represents your subconscious mind. That's the part you're supposed to balance out with your conscious mind. But then when they start talking about the evil soot or whatever, they're talking about the soot or the part of you that's the ignorance that had the darkness without the light. So You can't say you a golden racer or a light bringer or raising up the, you trying to raise up the frequency of the planet, but you talking about, you doing what Soot do. Because when the 14, when it take the, okay, it take 14 days for the full moon to go into a half moon. When it goes into a half moon, half the light is gone. That represents the 14 pieces that was, each one of those days represent the 14 body parts of Osiris that was mutilated. Or the eye that was put, the eye Horus, that when they say Set put out Horus' eye, that's one of the things that they're referring to. The light, the dark half of the moon would be the put out of the putting out the eye, putting the light out. So somebody that's trying to tell you don't fuck with the moon when you're supposed to fuck with the moon, put your crystals out there, harness moon energy and all that. So if somebody listen to them, and they, you know, these people got crystals and all this shit, talking all this shit. But just imagine somebody that come in and listen to these people and they don't know no better, and they think the moon is something bad. Then they won't even take their crystals out and put their crystals to those stones and shit out and harness that moon energy. So these people that are teaching this are really like agents of Soot, SIBO people, trying to put the light out, trying to push the same way Soot or the darkness tries to put the light of the moon out. Same thing they doing by trying to teach against the moon. You see how that work? So, the light joined with the water, creating that beer or that liquor. This would be a grand version of liquor distillery. Fermentation. That's why they call it turning water into wine. The golden light mixes with the clear water. You know, I got blue here, but it still coincides as well, because that gold, that even I even got that in here too. I found that page where it was talking about the green tint of the azure tint over Kemet in the morning. But that golden color cut beer, you got different colors of beer. You got dark. I don't drink beer that much, but I'm more of a craft beer type of dude. I like dark beers. You know what I'm saying? Like that beer right there was pretty. One I just showed y'all was pretty cool or whatever. But for the most part, I be like dark beers. You know, strong beers. I like Busch and Bud Light, Bud White. I drink craft beer. Like that one beer I just showed you. That's a $2 bill. It's like one can, but it gets the job done. Craft beers. Well, I'm not a Busch. You know, I get my shit from the. You know, I don't drink the big brand Budweiser and Busch and all that old shit. You know what I'm saying? That ain't really my cup of tea. But I do the craft beers though. But I said all that to say, even to go as far as to say people who think consciousness about, oh, you can't drink liquor and I gotta keep my temple clean. No, do what you do with moderation. You can drink. We always drink. Like I said, that's why the Irish people, which is the section I'm reading is out of, is the Irish Elemental. That's why when you deal with Irish people, they're heavy drinkers. You know, they still carrying on that tradition that they learned from us. That the black people who were in Ireland, who were drinking, left there. So let me get into the scholarship of that. Damn, boy, that marijuana shit pissed me off. I know I got that shit wrote down somewhere in. But all right, we'll go to that one. Okay, right here. It say, Osiris in the mythical Memphis had Ptah Ka, which is another thing, the Hecate, the White Wall of Memphis. The White Wall of Memphis is they talking shit about the moon, but you can't say you fuck with Egypt if you talking about the moon bad, because when you go deal with the White Wall of Memphis, in Egypt, the White Wall, the White City made of white limestone. The reason that it's made of white limestone because it is a memorial to the moon. It is a throwback to when the moon was still fused to the earth. So what the fuck are people talking about with this? So I'm saying you gotta watch. You guys really gotta do your own research for one, and two, you gotta watch who you listening to right here. Well, let's get into it. In the wooing of Etain, Mitter, the lover sings of the beer as divine drink in the earthly paradise. Heady to you, the ale of Aaron. That's nothing. Ale is beer. Ale means star as well. The light of a star particles mixing with the water, making the ale or the beer. But it says, heady to you, the ale of Aaron, but headier is the ale of the great land. When thou comest, woman, to my strong folk, fresh swine's flesh and beer shall be given thee by me, O white-skinned woman. It's talking about the moon. When they say white-skinned woman, in the flesh, it's talking about this become when all the light attracts from out of here, and this is just left barren and desert. This becomes soot, the pig. When the sun come back through here, it's gonna eat the flesh or penetrate the flesh or drive the spirit through the heart of soot, the black-hearted pig. But that's later. And like I say, the white-skinned woman is the moon. It is also said of this wonderland, when it rains, 'tis beer that falls. Now the beer that rained in the Irish paradise is identical with that which came down from the Egyptian heaven. Mana. I add the mana part, I ain't read that, but yeah. So when it say it rains beer, we'll get into that real fast. I'm almost out of time, but so now I guess I get to the 4th of July thing tomorrow, and then just gonna finish this out with that one. But anyway, so now this how it all pops off. When this disconnects from that, and all these rise up, and they all meet at this single point right here, the last one, the 7th, which would be the root chakra, but it's upside down. That's where you get your red-headed lady shit from. But when all that energy is in this area, all this water is gonna retract to right here. And it's the intensity by all 6 of these being right here, all 6 of these being one inside that one, by all the light being concentrated right here, the intensity of that light in that point with that water, this is what you call the Chinese water curtain or something like that, But the energy from that heat is gonna cause the intensity from that energy is gonna cause the water. It's gonna cause the rainwater. So when they say it rains built by the light being inside of the water that's falling is raining beer, because what I said, it's the creation of the beer or the water turning into wine coming up here. So when it comes back down, it falls as beer or liquor or wine. This is the Michael Jackson thing too. That's what I wanted to share with y'all too. I got 5 minutes. Michael Jackson. Show you the Archangel Michael. What I just showed you, that's the Michael Aquarius. First and foremost, you see the mic. Looks like a mic. That's where the whole mic thing comes from. You have Michael Jackson, Mikael Jackson. This is the Jack. The sun, these being jacked up in the hill to create the sun. Little suns, the Jack sun, this Jack sun. The sun being jacked up, or the light that's going to become the sun being jacked up in the shape of a mic. And then, cause Mike came through that 4th of July weekend. 4th of July, the fireworks. Oh shit, the fireworks would be when, if I was a gambler, I'd say when this cut off from this, and that light travels up in the hill, this is going to illuminate violet. And then when that light goes up in the hill, this is going to illuminate, because it's going to be dark in the back, and it's going to illuminate violet. Then this is going to illuminate indigo. And then when all that light goes up in the middle, it's going to illuminate to a blue. And then when this goes up in the hill, it's going to illuminate to a green. And then when this goes up in the hill, it's going to illuminate into a yellow. And then when this one goes up in the hill, it's going to illuminate orange. And then when this one goes up in the hill, it's going to illuminate a bright red. If you read mythology, you read about Eurydice. Eurydice is spelled E-U-R-T-H ICE or something like that. But I remember one day I kept saying it, and it started coming out as her red ice, her red ice, her red ice, her red ice. Now I like, the funny thing about this picture is my mama used to have a red afro when I was little. Sometimes when I look at this, it reminds me of her afro or whatever. When this travels up in the hill, it's going to illuminate red, travel up in the hill, and the lightning is going to strike. Remember I told you, it's the eye right here, the wide eye of Zeus or whatever. I just seen something, which I'm going to bring that in the next video. Well, I ain't just seen it, I've been knew it, but I'm going to share it in this one. Show you how all this shit coming together. When they say her red ice, when that illuminates and goes up in the hill, that's why I say remind me of the red. First you got the red right here, and the afro, the red light goes up. When that goes up, all that water gonna freeze right there, so it'll be like it's going up, and it's a red glow on the ice that water froze into as this goes up. Her red ice. Shit, man. Minute levels. But yeah, so I had to bring in there too the Michael. I had to show y'all the Michael Jackson and throw my mom Dukes in there. We gonna get into these in a minute. This is Hakati as well. If you look, you tell you look like a frog. Then at the same time, you have the Horus with the beaks. Even if you look at this right here, it look like an eye with the beak of the hawk. But this shit finna cut out, man. So we'll get back into it when I pick back up, and I'm gonna try to find that marijuana shit. Cause I want to read that. I know you go get the book, you can see it for yourself, but I want to read that shit from out here and show y'all. So I'm gonna find that. So y'all be easy till the next episode.